when I was in elementary school, I always knew my name was coming up because the teacher would stop.
That's me
She was-
too. I'm East African, okay? And so when I was in school, okay, here, let's just go back a little bit. So like my father would always be like, "Do you want to use your Christian name? You know, you could be Monica Maria if you want to." I'm like, "Dad, my name is Koku. Like, I don't want to be Monica Maria. Like, that's the Christian stuff is cool and all, but no, I'm Koku Tona." Yeah,
Yes, yes, you are.
yeah, you know what I mean?
I
No,
love it.
no. So Martin, again, let's get the last name. How do I say it?
I love that story, and I've heard all versions of it. My last name is pronounced Guigui.
I thought so. Yeah.
And I've heard Guigui. My basketball coach in high school used to call me Gooey.
What?
He used to go, Gooey, I want you to take the ball and pass it.
And we just accept it though. Like there's so many like iterations and variations of my name where I've just accepted them.
Gooey, stop with that razzle dazzle. And that was part of like one of the reasons that I really identified with this story was just that, you know, I knew what it felt like to be, and I haven't had a chance to talk about this yet with anyone, and you just kind of you melted away the years with the name thing because right, and he wouldn't let me express myself on the court creatively, right? And I grew up in New York City, and I'm originally Argentinian, but I grew up in New York City playing a specific style of basketball.
Yeah,
that wasn't necessarily, you know, they call it street ball, not always accepted in the organized game or in the system as we would know it.
What part of New York City did you grow up in?
I grew up on 92nd Street and Broadway.
Wow, so you're like a real New Yorker.
I am at heart, yeah. And you know, my dad was a musician, so we moved around a lot. But I was here most, you know, the first day after I was born, my parents got out of Argentina, came to New York City, and I lived here the first 8 years of my life. And then I came back, and this is where I lived for you know.
Do you speak Spanish?
Sí, hablo español, castellano, which is a different.
Okay, yeah, castellano is a little bit different. It's a little, yeah. I ain't saying I speak Spanish like that. I'm just. let me tell you something. My secret weapon, Martin, is like that. People don't know that I speak Spanish. So oh man, it comes.
Oh, isn't that great? Comes in handy, like when you're in an elevator or something, and you hear.
Absolutely.
They don't know you're Coco.
Claro.
Claro que sí.
You understand me?
Oh, yes, indeed.
But okay, so tú entiendes. But okay, so I was better. No, because they're not gonna understand this interview if we start getting to that. Let's not let's not slip into that.
We'll give them a chance.
We give them a chance. Let's let them understand us.
At least they know that we know.
No, sí, ahora sí, okay.
Ahora sí.
Sí, chill.
That's great. You know, by the way, if you ever, after the interview and stuff, and like maybe whatever, before you crash tonight,
yeah,
you can YouTube a song called Ahora Sí.
Ahora
Sí. It's an old salsa song. It's so good.
Is it good?
Am
I gonna love it?
You're gonna love it because it's got this fire, like your spirit does,
okay,
in a beautiful way, you know,
yeah,
in a really like in a classy way. So you'll dig it because it was one of my favorite tunes. Yeah, sí, classy.
Martin, nobody's ever called me classy.
Well, you know, we could get T-shirts that on one side it says Coco, and on the back it says classy.
No, it's not gonna be opposite, polar opposites. Okay, all right. No one's gonna believe that. I just want to. Let's talk serious. Just for 2 seconds. For 2 seconds. We don't have to talk serious forever. What a phenomenon. Okay, I'm editing myself out for that. That was horrible.
That was beautiful.
No, that was horrible. But it was actual like it was
it was from your soul. That was from your soul.
It was a natural reaction. Yeah. What a phenomenal job, dude. Like Sweetwater, this is a good movie. And like I just want to know, like, you know, what went into just deciding to make this decision to like make this movie? Because it's so good. I loved it.
Thank you, Coco. Oh my gosh.
You did good, bro. You
Thank
did
you.
good.
You're so cool, sis. You validate you validate hermana. You validate choices that I've made in my life by embracing the film the way you
Loved it.
have, because I can tell that you're embracing it with your heart and soul.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I made it for so many reasons, because so you'll in April of 95, so it'll be 28 years in this April is when I bumped into the story.
Really?
And I was at the time I'm also a musician, and I was touring with a blues. It was a blues tour with James Cotton and a few other cats. And I was playing B3 on that tour, and we came through Springfield, Massachusetts, and I walked into the Basketball Hall of Fame because I was like, wow, I've never been to the Basketball Hall of Fame. And I played high school ball and I played college ball, and I was like, okay, I gotta check. And I still play ball. I love the game. And I got to check out the Hall of Fame. And back then in 95, watching at the time, I think it was the Knicks. The Knicks were playing the Pacers. I think it was Reggie Miller era.
Oh yeah, Reggie. Yeah.
Reggie Miller and Patrick Ewing.
Reggie Miller deserves a ring. That's my boy. Yeah.
Oh, with amen to that. And and they were playing in the playoffs, the Eastern Conference playoffs, and it was on. The game was on while I was walking around the Hall of Fame, and that's I can't explain why, but that's when it hit me. It was like, wait a minute, the game that I have a passion for, the game that I love, is a game that is creative. It's a game where we use our imagination and we're open to all possibilities. And I thought, wow, okay. And so I went to the information desk and I said, who's the first one to play that game? Because I remember in my mind, as far back as I knew, there was a guy named Connie Hawkins. Because I was a student of the game even as a kid. I was a paper boy, and I used to read all the stats and stuff. And while I was delivering the paper, I always wanted to be the first one to know what the stats were from the night before. And I knew there was a white dude named Bob Cousy, and I knew that there was Elgin Baylor. And I was like, who invented that game? And that's what led me into the history of the game that had yet to make it into the history books and channels of, if nothing else, information and education. And so it kind of hit me. I was like, okay, maybe there's a book here. At the time, I was also a documentary filmmaker. I thought, well, this could be a cool documentary. And I started making phone calls because there was none of this back then.
Right.
And so
yeah.
I was like, how am I going to find this information? I started making calls. I had friends in the NBA and started interviewing
a couple pals in the NBA.
Yeah. And it's like, there's no rhyme or reason where, like, here we are, right? Meant to be bump into each other on this particular moment in time. And that's how I met people, and I believe that if you're true to yourself, to your true purpose, like the film exemplifies, that you meet everybody you're supposed to meet, and you impact people in a positive way, the way that everybody should. And the way we hope that someday will exemplify some sort of global harmony. So anyway, long story short, that's where the story was born. And I started doing research and finding all these great things, oh my, that happened. Oh, it was Earl Lloyd. Oh, Chuck Cooper. Oh, I'll track down Earl Lloyd. And I tracked down Earl Lloyd. Oh, Chuck Cooper. I got to talk to these people. And I, for some reason, gravitated towards Sweetwater story, as you know, from the film. And I don't want to give anything away, but there's a twist, which is like, whoa, I grew up listening to my folks, listening to MLK, listening to leaders who spoke truth. And I thought that's where it all comes from. And in music, everything has to come from here, right? There can't be any of this. And so I thought, well, how interesting would it be to find out, exactly how this went down, the truth about it. And so I'm very blessed that along the way, the NBA helped, people who lived it, the Lapchick family, Sweetwater's family, Abe Saperstein's family, were kind enough and generous enough to share information. And over the
And
years,
Everett acted his off, right?
yeah. Oh yeah. He
Dude,
acted his
like
beep off. Absolutely. Because and he was similar to I do believe that there was a spirituality to this journey, a guardian angels, if you will. There was a calling that we were all feeling. Oh, everybody on the set felt this emotional connective tissue, DNA. We all felt that we had to, it was all about truth, authenticity. And we knew that we had to channel this story so that it could, hopefully impact future generations for a long time. It's really important. We've come a long way, but we have a ways to go, right? So that's for me, the impetus of the message and why I wanted to tell the story, because it's not so much about basketball, even though it is, and it's not so much about the triumph for the human spirit, even though it is. And it's really about change, and that was kind of our mantra for everyone involved.
Martin, I thank you so much. I thank you so much for telling this story and for really even just even being spending the time with me to talk about your message.
The feeling is mutual, Coco.
Igualmente.
Igualmente, para siempre.
Exacto. So you're cracking me up. I don't even know what to do with this. I've never had an interview like this.
I haven't either. And so we're setting a trend, just like Sweetwater did.
Exactly. Oh, that's a nice rap. Because they're killing me. The PR is killing me right now.
So we'll say this, Coco, to be continued. I appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you. And then again, on your next film, I'll talk to you again, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That's it. There's no turning back now.
¿Verdad?
See, Koku, we were, this is meant to be, this is, as they call it, kismet, the shared serendipity, whatever you want to call it. And don't ever let them call you anything else.
I won't let them call me anything else, because let me tell you something. Martin and Guigui told me everything about myself. So I'm very confident.
Oh, we may have to think about a show, Coco and Guigui.
Cokes and Gigs. We got it.
Thank God for laughter and humanity and a beautiful spirit like you.
Oh my God. Like, oh my God, you've made my day, like, beyond anything. Once again, my name
is
likewise. Once again, my name is Koku with blackfilm.com, and I was here with Martin Guigui. Okay, my brother from New York City, born and raised. Okay, brother. He has orchestrated this beautiful film, Sweetwater, which will be in theaters on April 14th this year, like in a couple weeks, guys. And I'm gonna put this out exactly, and it's so good, guys. It's so good. And I'm a huge basketball fan, but there's nothing like really reaching back and going back to the greats. Who's your favorite basketball? My favorite basketball player of all time is Magic Johnson.
Wow, that is so great, because he was a giver.
Dope passer.
That's right. He was all about making it happen, and that's the beauty of the game.
That's who I am.
So for me, it was Magic and Julius, Dr. J.
Dr. J. Okay, got it. And I'm a fan of KD. I'm a KD lover. I don't care what y'all say about him. That's not baby.
He's pure. He's pure. Right? and what else can we say other than ahora sí?
Ahora sí, exacto.
You're an earth angel, and I embrace you.
Okay, Martin Guigui. I'm gonna say it like how we say it at home. Martin Guigui.
Oh, that's a song. Una canción. Un baile. What do you dance? I dance Coco. What do you dance? I dance Martin Guigui.
If you want to see more content like this on blackfilm.com, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell.